From Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland, Toyota presents Ballroom Boxing. Hi everybody, Larry Michael along with Rick Walker. You know, Rick, every time we come to Michael's for action, it's competitive, it's exciting, and tonight we have a sellout as well.
Well, people know what they're going to get here at Michael's 8th Avenue. They're going to get premium ballroom boxing. The fans here understand the game, and every time I'm here, the place is sold out. Maybe I ought to be here more often.
Hey, you know, a lot of the fans here to see the women's fight. Rose the Bomb Johnson from Silver Spring, Maryland is in the house. She's got a tough test tonight.
Well, actually, I got a chance to see Rose the Bomb Johnson in her debut. The one thing going on tonight against Lisa Foster is that she's got a decisive reach advantage against Rose Johnson. So that'll be most interesting. Rose the Bomb Johnson, a very good-looking woman that can fight.
That's right. Hey, and the main event tonight is world-ranked Reggie Green. Reggie Green knocking on a door of a world championship, and he risks it all tonight against Dezi Ford, a real tough customer.
Well, from what we hear about Dezi Ford is that this is a guy that could win tonight. You know, and the one thing is going to be that Green has to come in and not underestimate his abilities. We've all been there before when you're trying to get to the big fight and you forget about the fight at hand.
All right, folks, buckle up. It's Ballroom Boxing, and it's next on Home Team Sports. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing, Larry Michael, with Rick Doc Walker. We're at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Fighters in the ring. Ring announcer Pat O'Malley standing by.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission Chairman Carl N. Milligan Jr. presents this 6th-round bout in the super welterweight division. The referee in charge is Jodi Wingfield. Introducing the boxers. Out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks, weighing 156.5 pounds, from Atlanta, Georgia, with a record of 5-6, 4 via the KO. Please welcome Robert Muhammad. Out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed in red, weighing 150.75 pounds, from Washington, D.C., with a record of 3-0, all by knockout. Please welcome Anthony Fields.
Anthony Fields unbeaten. A look at the matchup here tonight between Anthony Fields and Robert Muhammad. Fields, the younger of the two fighters, has the height advantage. Muhammad has a little bit of a weight edge by 6 pounds, Rick. But Anthony Fields has the pedigree. His brother Jermaine Fields, unbeaten 8-0 himself. And this shapes up as a good matchup between slugger Robert Muhammad, 5-6 with 4 knockouts, and Anthony Fields, 3-0, 3 knockouts.
And you talk about the bloodline. I've watched his brother fight, and he also has that age advantage at 23 years of age as opposed to Muhammad's 29 years.
Fight underway. Anthony Fields, southpaw. Robert Muhammad comes in with a lot of confidence. Coming in here today, we talked to Muhammad, and he said that he is going to put the blemish on the record of Anthony Fields. Let's see if he can follow up with that.
Yeah, we always talk about the style. I think that was more of a slip.
And they're calling that a knockdown. They're calling that a knockdown. So, Robert Muhammad's comments before the fight, prophetic seemingly, as Fields goes down, and that's counted a knockdown.
Now we're going to find out what kind of composure Fields has.
Fields trying to work off the ropes. There's a body shot.
Muhammad's just anchored in. At this point, Fields is going to have to do something, step aside from it, get off of those ropes.
Fields needs to get off the ropes. There's Muhammad. You wonder if Muhammad can go like this for the whole fight. This fight is scheduled for 6 rounds, and Muhammad coming out very strong in the first round.
You learn so much watching these boxers early on. Who has the demeanor? You can see if guys will get out of their fight plan. Fields again, nice body shot.
Another one.
That time he caught, that time he had 2 shots to the head.
Fields fighting back nicely. Muhammad right in front of Fields, and this is where Muhammad needs to give him some angles, getting to catch him leather.
I think about Fields, he was able to sneak a couple of those blows in, made some nice contact. Doesn't seem to be phased by Muhammad.
Counter punching nicely off the ropes. Fields with the uppercut. Ducks the left hand of Muhammad. Fields looking to pull the trigger on the left hand. Action slowing down here. And why not? Muhammad expended a lot of energy early in this first round. Now he's paying a little bit of the price as Fields counter-punching off the ropes.
Interesting in terms of scoring this first round, Larry.
Well, you know, Fields went down. Could be a 10-8 round, and Muhammad coming back, but he has
scored well.
No question.
He's landed some real nice punches. Everything upstairs, not a lot on the body. Seems very comfortable up against the ropes.
Fields counter-punching off the ropes, maybe letting Muhammad punch himself out a little bit. The uppercut scoring inside with the right hand by Fields. Good body work there by Fields up against the ropes.
And a lot of the toughness of his brother.
Closing moments of round one. Exciting start to this matchup between Muhammad and Fields. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing on Home Team Sports. Larry Michael with Rick Walker. The action brought to you by Toyota here in the Ballroom at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. A reminder, next card at Michael's 8th Avenue, March the 26th. Plenty of tickets still available. Check the Michael's box office for ticket information. Make the trip to Glen Burnie and experience Ballroom Boxing. Tell you what, the folks here tonight have seen a great night so far, and in the ring right now, Doc, Anthony Fields and Robert Muhammad coming off a very hotly contested round one.
And Muhammad has been very consistent. That time Fields changed, altered his style just a little bit. Seems extremely confident.
Fields went down in the first round. It was a flash knockdown. He thought it was a slip. The referee and the judges counted it as a knockdown, so Muhammad took that first round.
Notice the difference in strategy now. We're going 6 rounds in this bout. Majority of our fights have been 4 rounds, and you can be a little more patient on the side of Fields, but kind of find out.
Kind of surprised Anthony Fields, at least to this point, through a round and a half, has been content to stay up against the ropes against Muhammad.
And Muhammad continues to exert himself, but not landing as many blows as he's throwing. I mean, Fields still in a pretty good defensive posture. I'm always uncomfortable with that strategy, not a guy on the ropes.
Well, you know, go back to the rope-a-dope of Muhammad Ali, and I know, you know,
well, 15 rounds, so that's a little different than 6 rounds. I mean, if you paid the price in the gym, this is not supposed to phase you.
Right. Fields doing some good work off the ropes, however, counter-punching
he's
Muhammad.
Comfortable with it. He's very comfortable with it.
The uppercut rocks the head of Muhammad. You wonder who this is harder on. The guy that's leaning up against the ropes. Big right hand short circuits Muhammad. He is hurt. He is hurt. The right hand by Fields. Now he turns it around.
Muhammad breathing with his mouth wide open.
Muhammad taking shots. A right, a left. The referee, Jodi Wingfield, taking a good long look at this.
Now that rope-a-dope really turns to Fields' advantage.
Exactly.
As he does not seem to be tired. This is a mauling.
Muhammad has nothing left, and the referee steps in. Jermaine Fields wins another by knockout. Excuse me, Anthony Fields, his brother Jermaine in his corner. Anthony Fields goes to 4-0. All 4 wins by knockout. He comes off the ropes and TKOs Robert Muhammad.
Fields was composed. He had a plan. Very little variance to the plan. The guy can box. He definitely can. You talk about the Fields brothers. Now with a combined record of 11-0.
Anthony Fields, and we wondered why is he up against the ropes? Well, he showed us why. He was biding his time, waiting for the moment that he could turn the tide. He did it with a right hand, right on the left eye of Robert Muhammad, and that was the beginning of the end.
Well, Muhammad threw a number of blows, never really backed out of his particular strategy. Anthony Fields, 5'9", 155-pounder.
A look at how the end of this fight unfolded. Fields by this point had already shocked Muhammad with the right hand. And Muhammad trying to cover up. Right here is where he needed to reach out and grab Fields and try to clear his head.
See, that was the one that got him. Got him with the cross, and there he's able to finish him because he still had some reserves in his tank. Well thought out strategy by his corner. You
see the eyes of Fields very clear, looking at his opponent. And the victory goes the way for Anthony Fields. Pat O'Malley with the official word.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by TKO at 2:20 of round 2, and now 4-0, Anthony Fields.
Anthony Fields, the winner. Done it before, did it tonight. A knockout in the second round over Robert Muhammad. 4 wins, 4 knockouts for Fields. Now let's head back to John Scheinman with an interview with the winner, Anthony Fields.
I'm here with Anthony Fields. Goes to 4-0 with 4 knockouts with a 2-round devastation of Robert Muhammad. You fought the whole fight along the ropes. You seem supremely confident. Was that the battle plan?
Well, actually, it wasn't a battle plan, but I felt more comfortable on the ropes fighting because I know he's a banger. So I felt like if I can, you know, get the feel of his punches and then counter with mine, I would come off the ropes and do my job.
Tell me what happened in the first round. The referee scored a knockdown for Muhammad. It looked like a flash affair. Tell me what happened.
Well, me and him threw a punch, and so happens when I threw my punch, I was all balanced, so they counted as a knockdown. I mean, I've been knocked down before. I feel as though, you know, I didn't think it was a knockdown, but I had to, you know, go with the referee on it.
Well, rising star Anthony Fields goes to 4-0. Let's go back to ringside.
All right, so more ballroom boxing coming up from Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Don't go away. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Rick Doc Walker. We've got a real dynamic matchup in the ring. Let's go take a look at the matchup. Mo Rite and Jerry Smith. And you see Mo Rite at 5'4", Smith at 5'8". Rite has the age advantage, an inch reach advantage. And we're going to be joined by someone who knows a little bit about Mo Rite in a moment. First, the official introductions with Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission Chairman Carl N. Milligan Jr., Executive Director Patrick Piniella present the 6-round bout in the junior featherweight division. The referee in charge is Malik Waleed. Introducing the boxers. Out of the blue corner, wearing the blue trunks, trimmed in red and white, weighing 121 3/4 pounds, from Charleston, South Carolina, with a record of 0-2. Please welcome Jerry Smith. Out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks, from Baltimore, Maryland, weighing 121 3/4 pounds, with a record of 1-1-1. Please welcome mighty Mo Rite.
And we are joined at ringside, Larry Michael with Rick Walker, with the UFC World Heavyweight Champion, Randy the Natural Couture. How you doing, big guy?
Real good.
Well, I'll tell you what, I feel a lot safer having you here next to us ringside. Of course, Ultimate Fighting Championship, which is significantly different, but you know a little bit about Mo Rite, I understand.
Yeah, we were at the Arbutus Boxing Gym earlier this week shooting a training video, and I had the opportunity to meet Mo and a couple of the other guys that are fighting here tonight.
What's the toughest thing about being you and having that title? Do you guys challenge you at the bar?
That hasn't happened yet, but I haven't had the title that long, and I don't spend too much time in too many bars. So.
Okay. Action underway. We're going to ask Randy to stick around throughout this fight. These two guys, even though they're little, as we know, the small guys really can punch in bunches, can't they?
They sure can. They're quick.
Now, Randy, any thoughts of maybe moving into what they'd say would be boxing, the boxing arena from the Ultimate Fighting Championship arena?
I don't think so. At 34, I'd be playing the catch-up game right from the start. I don't know. My first inclination would be to take a guy down out there. So
that's exactly right. You get him to tap out on you. Anyway, Mo Rite is a lot of movement, and these two guys here have done it on before. These guys are familiar with each other, and Rite's a local favorite from nearby Baltimore.
No, last time they hooked up, they had a great brawl. I mean, a lot of people, everybody that was at the fight, hoped that the fight would never end.
Randy, understand former Olympian, and any shots of maybe keeping it alive for Sydney?
That's the plan.
Is it?
Definitely.
What kind of sacrifice does that require? I mean, I'm always...
Oh, down goes Mo Rite, and that is a knockdown as he came diving in, got caught. He got caught coming in at Jerry Smith. Smith is winless at 0-2. Mo Wright's 1-1-1. That was a quick knockdown for Jerry Smith in the first round. And I know when a guy goes down, you see there a little more urgency from Mo Wright's right now.
Well, you realize the scoring system. A lot of blows. Nobody with a real clean, flush hit at this point.
Brady, I guess most folks home watching this don't realize the condition these guys have to be in.
They're in great shape. They've got to put in a lot of work to be in this kind of condition. To go this hard for 4 or 6 rounds, it takes a lot out of you.
I'm going to get back to my question about the discipline involved in your sport with, with the 4 to 8 year lifespan.
Yeah, the average age on the Olympic team is about 29, and so you're talking about guys that have gotten out of college, and now they've got to find some way to make a living, and still allows them to train 5 or 6 hours a day, and that's pretty difficult to do.
Smith controlling the tempo here in round 1. This fight is scheduled for 6 rounds. Mo Wright's in the black trunks, Jerry Smith in the blue trunks with the stripes.
Smith, nice right hand.
Wright is moving his head from side to side, but he's not firing punches out. Smith really has a target that's not bringing aggression to him.
Yeah, he had some movement, but he's got caught a couple of times.
Down goes Wright's again. It's been a strong first round for Jerry Smith. Closing moments of the first round.
It appeared that he was actually hit.
So Larry Michael with Rick Walker, along with Randy Couture, the UFC World Heavyweight Champion. And tell us about the fight in which you won that championship belt. Tough fight for you?
Yeah, very tough fight. I went against a kickboxer that's been a professional kickboxer for about 17 years. So he's a well-conditioned and well-composed athlete, and he's used to being in the ring. So the fight went the distance, 21 minutes. It was a referee's decision, so it was a real good fight.
What was the key in your mind to victory?
Controlling the fight on the ground. I felt like I could take the stand-up fighter to the ground, and then he was going to have to survive on the ground and able to stay with me.
How's your life changed since you got the belt?
Well, it's a lot more recognition than I'm used to. As a wrestler, I'm used, at least an amateur wrestler, I'm used to living in relative obscurity. So, yeah, there's been a lot more recognition since I've won the title, which it's nice, but and it's a little different.
There you saw the replay. It was the right hand on the temple of Mo Wright. So Mo Wright goes down twice. What do you think his corner told him right there?
I think he needs to move a little bit more from side to side. He's bobbing and weaving a lot, but he's still standing in front of him.
Round 2 underway, and Jerry Smith has built quite a lead here. That had to be a 10-8 round with the 2 knockdowns. Mo Wright looks to be a little shaky with the legs right now.
Right, Jerry Smith, man, you talk about the jab and the piston movement out of this kid's arm. Really, really quick. Awful confident right now. He can't make a mistake.
I'll tell you what, right now he's going to have to be ready to go 6 rounds because Mo Wright is ready for sure.
It's an unorthodox style by Wright. I mean, he's working the body.
Trying to work back. That's what he's got to do. Of course, this is a 6-round fight and went down twice in the first round, so a long way to go. Once again, ringside with Randy Couture, the UFC World Heavyweight Champion, the Ultimate Fighting Champion. And really, the sport has really grown so much over the last 3 or 4 years. I guess maybe if you went back 5 years, would you ever have thought that you would be in this position now?
Oh, I had no idea. I've only been doing this for about 6 months, and even in the last 6 months, it's gotten a lot more popular, I think.
See, Mo Wright's turning the tide here on Jerry Smith.
Well, he's got to fight it out. With the Maryland state rules, the 3 knockdown rule is in effect.
Smith flipping right hand.
Boy, he grazed him on that. Had that been flush, he might have knocked him down.
Mo Wright's beginning to turn the tide a little bit here in the second round. He's doing it by just sitting inside and banging.
Sitting inside, but he's got to score. He's got to get some of those roundhouse blows to actually land.
A little swelling under the right eye. Mo Wright's.
Mo Wright's is a warrior, though.
Yeah, he is.
This kid is not backing up at all.
Trying to work the body.
Got to break those hands up, though, because right now, from a defensive position, you got to like what Jerry Smith has shown us.
Both these guys tipped the scales at 121 pounds at yesterday's weigh-in. Jerry Smith, 22 years old. Mo Wright's 28 years old. The referee for this fight, Malik Waleed. Nice right hand by Mo Wright.
Oh, nice. Well, good combination by Wright. Folks here at Michael's 8th Avenue enjoying ballroom boxing at its finest.
You know, Randy, you can see Wright's beginning to gain some confidence as he loses his mouthpiece.
Yeah, he's coming on strong a little bit now. He's fighting with a little more urgency, I think. He's moving a little more, landing some more shots.
Good comeback round two for Mo Wright. After going down twice in the first round, Wright turns it around. Round 3 coming up next. Don't go away. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Larry Michael with Rick Walker joined at ringside with Randy the Natural Couture, who is the world heavyweight champion of the UFC Ultimate Fighting Champions. And Mo Wright and Jerry Smith in the ring. And Randy, real quick, you know, we saw Mo Wright go down twice in the first round. How would you evaluate his comeback in the second round?
I thought he did a great job in the second round. He fought with a lot more urgency. He landed a lot more shots. Seemed to gather his balance back a little bit. He was a little bit off balance in the first round. I think that resulted in the 2 knockdowns.
Rick, do you feel that Smith realized that he lost a little bit of the tempo in that second round?
Yeah, I think he realized that he's been challenged. He's in the ring with a guy like Wright, who will not back down, took his best shot. Now he's got to alter his strategy and get back to the combination, stick with the jab, and build off of that.
This is unfolding into a heck of a fight.
Good shot.
Smith needs room. Smith needs the distance to fire off his shots, and Wright's more effective on the inside. So,
too, because Wright has the advantage in the reach. But boy, Jerry Smith, quick as a cat.
Talk about styles making fights. That's for certain here.
Really good defensive boxer.
Reminder: the action at Michael's continues on March the 26th here in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Ballroom Boxing returns. Plenty of good seats still available. So come on out, experience Ballroom Boxing here at Michael's 8th Avenue. Right now, this is what it's all about. Two guys laying it out.
Boy, Mo Wright's going after it now. Boy, this kid has some stamina. He has paid the price in the gym. I agree with Randy. He's a little off balance. He could just get himself settled.
The thing with Smith here is Smith needs to have room, needs room to box. And Wright's over the last 2 rounds has taken that room away.
Really staying in there at a close distance and not allowing him to create that space and land those shots.
Or is Smith playing right? Does he allow him to wear himself out?
I don't know. You never know. Nice uppercut by Smith. Good combination by Smith.
Boy, he missed with that overhand. Nice follow-up the left hand by Wright.
Smith comes back. Smith just misses the uppercut.
Wright has something going on in the right eye of Jerry Smith. Ooh, that punching power of Jerry Smith has been neutralized by Mo Wright.
I think he's losing a little of that power.
Yeah, he is.
Being sapped a little bit by Mo Wright.
Still has a real nice defensive stance when they get closed up. See, no power on those punches.
Wright, though, is not firing back. He's sitting there in a pretty good defensive posture. There's a nice right by Wright.
Yeah, he landed that right hand.
All right, welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Rick Doc Walker, joined by the UFC World Heavyweight Champion, Randy the Natural Couture. And after 3 rounds, let's check in with John Scheinman of Ring Magazine for a scorecard. John.
Well, I've got a 29-26 Jerry Smith. I gave him 10-7 in the first round with the 2 knockdowns. This is a replay of their first fight with the 2 knockdowns thrown in for spice. But I just got to tell you, Mo Wright in his 3 bouts has had a real gas problem at the end of the fights. They've been 4-rounders. This is a 6. I think he might have some trouble down the stretch.
All right, John, and looking at Mo Wright, a little swelling around both eyes. You've been in the gym with him. Do you think that's a legitimate question, whether he can keep this up for 6 rounds?
I didn't see him actually work out at the gym, but I did see a replay of the last 4-round fight that these 2 gentlemen fought, and it looked like this other guy came back in the 4th round on Mo. Mo kind of controlled the first 2 or 3 rounds. And if it had gone longer than 4, he might have been in trouble.
Well, no doubt about it. Smith has the advantage here, putting Wrights down twice in the first round. So he has to be ahead on the scorecards through 3 rounds. So he doesn't have to be.
Well,
but
he is.
He should.
Fact of the matter, he is. And I agree with his corner strategy in this rematch for Jerry Smith to come out and establish himself much earlier.
Smith really has kept his game plan together, and he's got good defense, got his hands high. Really has not shown any signs of fatigue.
Doesn't look like Mo's pressing as hard in this round as he did the other rounds.
You think maybe he's trying to save a little?
Could be.
Well, if you can go in and recharge your battery and not be beaten up in the process, and you're a guy who's questionable in terms of your stamina, not a good move. That's the second time now. And that's Jerry Smith. Look, I think Jerry lost his mouthpiece.
There's the mouthpiece. You can see it right on the canvas, and the referee, Malik Waleed, kicks it out. So the action continues, and you say it was Smith who lost his mouthpiece.
I think so.
Earlier in this fight, Mo Wrights lost his mouthpiece. Smith doing a good job of boxing right now, controlling the tempo of this fight.
You know, we talked about that bob and weave technique by Mo Wrights. That time it saved him because he missed that strong right hand.
Jerry Smith using the ring, using his tools. Mo Wrights trying to pursue, trying to force the action.
He's turning it up a little bit, Mo is right now.
Nice jab by Smith, though, to keep Wrights off balance.
He can move, can he?
Getting away from it now. You know, that's the one thing. His footwork, his balance is there.
Wrights diving in with the left hand, blocked easily by Jerry Smith. Closing moments of round 4. Good left hand by Smith inside. We'll be back with more ballroom boxing from Michael's 8th Avenue right after this. All right, welcome back to Ballroom Boxing, round 5. And in a moment, we're going to check in with John Scheinman of Ring Magazine and check out his scorecard through 4 rounds. Larry Michael with Rick Walker. With us here at ringside is Randy the Natural Couture, UFC World Heavyweight Champion, Ultimate Fighting Championship. Now let's check in with John Scheinman. John, how is this fight unfolding on your scorecard?
Well, Jerry Smith is beginning to pull away now on my card. Mo Wrights is a very game fighter, but I love the accuracy of the punching for Jerry Smith. He's very controlled fighter under pressure. He's one of the best 0-2 fighters I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine this guy has not won a professional fight.
So one thing about it, in the process of losing, he's gotten better in the gymnasium. I mean, this guy's continued to work on his craft, and he is coming of age.
Jerry Smith, just 22 years old, so he's got time to resurrect his career, even though he's lost his first 2 fights.
A lot of times that has to do with just being overmatched, right?
Not being ready for the opponent they match you with. Randy, what's next for you in your defense of the Ultimate Fighting Heavyweight Championship?
My defense will be in May. They're having a show in March in New Orleans that I won't participate in. I still compete for the U.S. national team in Greco-Roman wrestling, so I'm going to go to Europe and wrestle in a couple of tournaments in the next 2 months.
See, Smith and Wrights has to make me think about Mark Too Sharp Johnson, Larry. DC's champion. His record of 33-1, 24 KOs, the IFB World Champion.
Uppercut, good right hand by Jerry Smith. Mo Wrights here, laboring a bit here in round 5, trying to fire back. Scores with a left hand.
I think Jerry's not just picking a spot.
Wrights backing him up right now, though.
Yeah, he's backing him up, but this kid is still deflecting those shots off. Real good defensive position. I think you'll see a flurry momentarily.
There goes another mouthpiece again.
I think that was Mo's this time again.
Taking turns losing their mouthpieces, and Jerry Smith really pulling back from the left field with those punches now.
Yeah, those didn't land. Wrights did a great job defensively that time on his own. Oh, here's the undercut. Here's the
Smith, good right hand. Another good right hand.
Right.
Good combinations by Jerry Smith. What's keeping Wrights up?
Yeah, but he's got some courage, brother.
He does.
He's still on
Smith has the punch.
Yeah, he does.
Jerry Smith dominating the action here in round 5. Wrights continues to move forward, but he is taking some serious punishment here in round 5.
Jerry, I'll see if he can get him in the corner.
We're going to keep it here.
Legs are wobbling.
We're going to keep it here between rounds to check out these fighters in their respective corners, as this fight will head into the 6th and final round.
That was a rumble.
Mo Wright's in his corner. And Jerry Smith has to believe he's on top. And I know John Scheinman is standing by. John, as we take a look at Jerry Smith in his corner as the noise level increases here at Michaels. How do you have this score going into the final round?
Larry, that was a tough round to score. Jerry Smith, the sharper, crisper punchers as he's landed throughout the fight. But Mo Wright's work rate was terrific. I gave it to Wright, but I still have Jerry Smith ahead 48-45. Mo Wright's is going to have to do something spectacular to win this.
Sorry, John, we couldn't really hear what you were saying, but I think he was saying that Jerry Smith's on top. What do you think, Randy? What do you think has to happen here in the last round? Who do you have leading this fight?
I think Mo Wright is going to have to do something special here in the 6th round. I think Jerry Smith has controlled this fight almost from start to finish.
Jerry Smith has to be feeling a lot of confidence right now, especially after that 5th round where he really laid the lumber to Mo Wright's.
Laid some lumber, but couldn't cut him in half.
Little cut on the left cheek of Mo Wright's. Nothing to be concerned about with 3 minutes to go. Wright's with an uppercut.
Yeah, very nice. Got that uppercut in.
Ooh, Wright's knocked off balance.
Yeah,
almost went down.
Smith a little more willing to stand in there and exchange blows now in these last 2 rounds.
I guess he feels he's tasted the power of Mo Wright's and he's not fearful of it. I don't know if you're ahead by as much as we think Smith is ahead by. I think he might want to stay on the outside and not risk this fight.
When you're 0-2, man, you're trying to build a career. If you got a guy you can go in and fight with, you want to keep boxing him. I think he's got to feel he's got the knockout in his body.
Wright continues to move forward. He's all guts, that's for sure. Nice right hand by Wright.
He's a warrior.
We've seen no holding in this fight for 6 straight rounds. Very unusual. This combination by Mo Wright, and still right in front of him is Jerry Smith.
And Randy will tell you, man, these 2 guys have paid the price in the gymnasium. They
sure
put
have.
the road work in, man. They are both road warriors.
I dare anybody to go in there and just punch a bag for a minute like these 2 guys have been pounding on each other.
Wright's trying to fire back. And Smith is hurt. Smith is hurt.
He got him.
Closing moments.
Can he finish him? Can you believe this?
See some of the tape coming loose from the glove of Mo Wright. Some mouthpieces gone.
Yeah, and Jerry's now, he's throwing feather punches.
Can Jerry Smith hang on? Can Smith hang on? Does Wright have enough to put him away?
Boy, Jerry needs to be smarter than this. He needs to do a little grabbing at this point. He might mess around and get knocked out of this thing.
Little blood from the nose of Smith. Randy, want to thank you for stopping by here at ringside. Good luck to you. We hope you keep that belt for a long time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Good luck, Randy.
Randy Couture, the Ultimate Fighting Champion here at Michaels 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie.
I want to see these guys fight again. I don't know about you, but I certainly do.
This is an Ultimate Fight at 121 pounds.
No doubt about it.
See the tape from the glove of Mo Wright's.
Boy, Smith with a nice right hand.
We have a timeout as Malik Waleed needs to fix the tape on the glove of Mo Wright's.
Oh boy, that might
could be a
big Jerry Smith.
Big time help for Jerry Smith to maybe regain some strength for the final few seconds of this round.
Jerry clearly ahead on the card, but might have been in serious trouble.
And now they're going to tape the glove of Jerry Smith. So if I'm Jerry Smith's corner man, I'm going to take a long time putting this tape on.
It's like bringing in a relief pitcher from the bullpen. I'm going to say, take your time.
And you know what? I talked to the corner man earlier today, and he said, we're going to take Mo Wright, so we're going to take it to him early. And there he is. He's using some good psychology to give his man a little bit more of a breather. Comes out and fires a right hand. This fight in its closing seconds.
Yeah, see, Jerry's back now. Got his consciousness. That's what he needed.
Big right hand by Smith. Another left hand by Smith. Smith about to go. Wright's forcing the action. What a great fight here at Michaels 8th Avenue. Oh, that's what it's all about in the ballroom.
Yeah. Ballroom boxing. Call it a brawl, if you will. That is good stuff.
All right, we're going to have the official decision. What a fight. Bo Rite and Jerry Smith. Smith, it would appear, will take home his first victory. We'll find out when we return to Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Welcome back to Home Team Sports. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing from Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Tonight's action brought to you by Toyota. Okay, the suspense is over. Let's hear the word from Pat.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Judge Chevalier scores it 57-55 Smith. Judge Holmes scores it 57-56 Rite. And Judge Wingfield scores it 56-56. We have a draw.
Disappointing result for Jerry Smith. He thought he had his first professional victory, and you know what? I think he did too.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I thought all the way up until the end, and the young man got hit and hurt, but he didn't go down. And when a guy is knocked down twice in your bout, you got to think to yourself that you were in control of this. But that's where guts and courage and of Mo Rite take nothing away from him. I didn't think he won the fight, but I admired the way he hung in it.
Definitely a warrior.
Randy the Natural Couture, thanks for being with us here at ringside. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks, Randy.
So a draw with Mo Rite and Jerry Smith. You never know. It's boxing. Stick around. More boxing action to come from Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing on Home Team Sports. Larry Michael with Rick Walker, joined now at ringside but with Tony Saunders, formerly of the Florida Marlins, and now with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Spring training, when does it start for you?
February 13th, I'll be heading out to go down.
All right, good luck. Stick around for this heavyweight fight coming up in the ring.
All right, thanks.
Tony Saunders of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Hey, World Series ring yet?
No, I get that opening day.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
From the Florida Marlins. Okay, let's head up to the ring with Pat O'Malley and introduce these heavyweights.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission Chairman Carl N. Milligan Jr., Executive Director Patrick Piniella presents this 6th-round bout in the heavyweight division. The referee in charge will be Gary Campaneschi. Introducing the fighters. Boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks trimmed in blue, weighing 220 pounds, from Roanoke, Virginia, with a record of 3-3-1, won by knockout. Please welcome Robert Mitchell. Out of the red corner, in the red and gold trunks, weighing 211.5 pounds, from Bowie, Maryland, with a record of 7-2-1, 6 via the KO. Please welcome Garth, the Power
Hedger, the former Marine. Let's take a look at the matchup. Hedger, 6'1.5". Robert Mitchell, 6'2.5". And Rick, Hedger told us before the fight he's dropped a lot of weight.
Yeah, he was about a year ago, he was 235 pounds. Now down to a real trim 211. Reach, Mitchell has it at 75 age. He's 34 years old. And Hedger is 28 years old. And again, a record of 7-2-1 with 6 KOs.
Now, what do you think? Do you think Tony Saunders sitting in there against a Roger Clemens fastball is a little more intimidating than going into the ring against a heavyweight fighter?
No, not even close.
And quickly coming out, Mitchell
just landed a real nice right hand.
Putting the rush on Garth Hedger. Roughing up Hedger early. Maybe not a bad strategy. Hedger has a lot of local support here. And Hedger's on a pretty good roll. He's won 6 straight. Feels his pro career is just blossoming. He former Marine.
You know the guy is tough. He's a bulldog. Right now he's got to get in a good boxing stance, you know, and jab and show that he can box. And we know he can box, but right now this brawling, you often get caught.
Hedger packs a wallet. You see getting Mitchell up against the ropes.
About Mitchell kind of sticking the left hand out, but not jabbing. Threw a wild right that time. Caught Hedger on the chin.
Mitchell trying to bull Hedger back. And Donnie, you look at these two guys, and Hedger really not a real big heavyweight at 211 pounds.
I'm sure he hits hard enough to be a heavyweight. So. I'll take his word for it.
Good body shot. Mitchell, 230 pounds as he enters the ring tonight.
See, I like a guy to be 211, 212, and tight, and to come in, you know, with flab hanging out and be 235 and not have stamina.
Good right hand there by Mitchell. Hedger's going to be active, says he's got fights set up for the next 2-3 months in a row. And he'll be on the card at Michael's on March the 26th, our next ballroom boxing action.
Still want to see him establish his jab.
Nice overhand right by Hedger, and another one.
Yeah, he caught it.
Mitchell in a little bit of trouble. Mitchell about to go and goes down on all fours. Mitchell taking the 8 count on a knee. Let's see if he gets up. He was rocked. He is up in time. Well, let's see if Garth Hedger goes after him. Mitchell says he's okay. Walks forward to the referee, Gary Campaneschi. And this round 1 continues. Hedger trying to maul him. Missing wildly. Needs to sit down on his punches here.
Yeah, he really
show
does.
some patience.
If he just established that jab and set up his right hand, he'd be a much more effective boxer.
See the legs of Robert Mitchell beginning to wobble a little bit. Hedger just misses the right hand. Clubbing right hand pushes Mitchell away. Hedger has Mitchell hurt again. Good body shot. Mitchell just about turns his back on Hedger. Mitchell looking for a place to fall, it would seem. He does not like the body shots. He's about to topple. Now he holds on.
Tower pizza about to just tumble over.
You can see he's keeping his arms down low. I think the body work from Hedger might have hurt Mitchell.
Oh, he's trying to get to that stool now.
On the left rib, and there you see Hedger just pounding away right on that left rib area.
And that's a good strategy for Hedger if he just stay to it.
A lot of punishment there in round 1 inflicted by Garth Hedger. We're going to keep it right here between rounds. And look in on the corner of Robert Mitchell, 30 years old, 34 years old, out of Roanoke, Virginia. No, it doesn't. Tony, what do you expect with Tampa Bay this year, first year in the majors? I guess we have no way of predicting what we're going to see.
For first thing, you know, we're not a normal expansion team, because if you look at our roster, we got some real good veteran players. You know, Wade Boggs, Fred McGriff, Dave Martinez, Wilson Alvarez, Roberto Hernandez, John Flaherty, Kevin Stocker, Quentin McCracken, Mike Kelly. I mean, we've got a really good roster, and we're going to put a good team out there.
The Diamondbacks went in a little bit of a different sense, that we look at a little more of the fight action. Garth Hedger.
This was the knockdown.
Going to see a big right
Round
hand come
1.
up. He misses there. It was that left hand, short left hand that got him.
Round 2 underway, and let's see if Garth Hedger can finish what he started in round 1.
Well, if he goes to the body and works his way back up, then we won't have 3 rounds of this bout. That's a promise. Still yet to see the kind of jab I know he's capable of.
Straight right hand by Mitchell. Hedger not really working in. Maybe too much too soon. Feels that he can hurt Mitchell anytime he wants, and not really trying to work behind the jab.
I think I used to always like about watching the Eastern Assassin. You knew you'd see that jab by Holmes. Guys that come in there and stay with that jab.
That jab was a power punch for Larry Holmes. You see Mitchell's legs a little bit off balance still from the action of the first round. Hedger really fires off with a good body shot, then goes to the head. Mitchell trying to cover.
And now he's got it.
Plenty of time to go here in round 2. Let's see if Garth Hedger can close the door on Robert Mitchell. Mitchell is hurt. He's hurt big time.
Hedger knows oxygen. He's hurt for oxygen. It's the difference between having body pain and you need some air.
Hedger at that low weight, 211 pounds, has plenty of stamina. This fight scheduled for 6 rounds. I doubt we're going to go that far, Tony.
It ain't looking too good.
Tony will tell you there's no worse pain than fatigue. I mean, it's a genuine pain.
Yes, it is.
Nice body shot by Mitchell. Hedger retaliating with body shots of his own.
Boy, he loves that right cross. That Hedger wants to throw that big right hand.
Hedger almost has a smile on his face, knowing he's a superior boxer here and has the heavier hands.
Yeah, see, he's not scared of anything that Robert Mitchell can bring to him. Otherwise, he'd be in a little bit better defensive position. talking to him before the bout, and he said that he felt like in his first professional bout he was actually overmatched. But in the second, he felt like he, in his second loss to Gilberto Williams, I mean, he really felt like he had a chance to win.
Hedger with a clubbing punch almost cuffed him along the side of the head and threw him down.
At 211 pounds, you can grab a guy at 220 pounds and throw him across the ring.
Mitchell just gets up at the count of 9, and they're going to, are they going to allow this to continue? Are they going to allow this to continue? Let's watch. Gary Campaneschi.
Yeah, that's a good call by Campaneschi. Very good call.
Thought I heard the bell to end that round. I guess I did.
You hearing things like that?
Nah. Hedger continues forward. Mitchell just in that survivor mode. Keep his arm out there. Back with more Ballroom Boxing after this. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Tony Saunders, Major League star from Glen Burnie, Maryland, along with Larry Michael and Rick Doc Walker. Action in the ring heavyweights right now. Garth Hedger and Robert Mitchell.
I think Hedger really believed that by now he'd be back in the shower. He would have this thing over with. He brought his big right hand out, and he expected to end this one quick.
Well, he has put Mitchell down in each of the first 2 rounds. And in fact, at the end of the last round, Mitchell really hanging on. And the referee, Gary Campaneschi, trying to separate these 2 heavyweights. Garth Hedger kind of plodding forward. Mitchell firing off a right hand. Hedger had his guard down that time, and that right hand got through.
Looks like he may have a little mouth developing on his left, over his left eye.
Rips a body shot to the midsection of Mitchell. Tony, you're a big boxing fan, huh?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
You ever been in a ring, Tony?
No.
That's why he's a big boxing fan.
Yeah, I think most of us are. I had one fleeting experience, and that's why I am in the position I'm in now, talking about it.
Goodness. Big right hand.
Felt that here.
Mitchell.
That hurt me. I know it hurt him.
Mitchell just trying to hang on. Another right hand by Hedger. Mitchell turning his back. Referee taking a good long look at this. Mitchell complaining to the referee. Hedger needs to let his hands go, and this fight would be over. Except Mitchell holds on. Good move by Mitchell.
What's Mitchell complaining about? He said low blow?
He was complaining about that hit to the back of the head, but he turned his back on Hedger. You're supposed to protect yourself at all times.
Yeah, might help you get your hands up.
Mitchell might be playing a little possum right there. I thought so. He was setting up the right hand.
It's not one that pure boxing fundamentalists would be proud of.
A redness around the nose of Mitchell. Scores with the right hand, and Hedger, if he would just let his hands go, could put an end to this. Mitchell just hanging on, laying on top of Garth Hedger. And they're going to call an end to this. Mitchell is not able to continue. And he's looking off to the side, and Garth Hedger is victorious. I want to thank you, Tony Saunders, for stopping by. Good luck with Tampa Bay this year. Hope you guys do real well.
Be in contact during the year with you, buddy.
Okay, definitely.
Going to be tough to top last year's World Championship, but hey,
Try and do it again.
give it a shot.
First of all, work on them ugly uniforms and that logo.
Hey, that's out of my control.
Glen Burnie's own Tony Saunders, and there is Garth Hedger, victorious, a TKO, and I believe we have a physical problem with Mitchell over there. He might have hurt a leg, or he's complaining maybe his shoulder. Doctor is in the ring right now.
Mitch is going to have a number of ailments by tomorrow.
Mitchell complaining to the referee, Gary Campaneschi, about something, but this fight is in the books. It's going to go in the books as a TKO victory for Garth Hedger, improving his record to 8-2-1, 7 wins by knockout. Garth Hedger lost the weight, got in at 211, fighting trim like any good Marine should. And we see Robert Mitchell slouching against the ropes. In fact, that was Garth Hedger's corner. And he is kind of taking up camp in Garth Hedger's corner. Maybe it's an injured hand. It looks like he's looking at his right hand. But in any event, Garth Hedger is victorious here in Glen Burnie. Mitchell had taken a lot of punishment. I don't know if he was looking for a way out at that point or a way out found him, but there he is. He's okay now.
Yeah, he's smiling. That's good.
He's smiling, and
yeah.
Garth Hedger goes over, and they slap fists, and Pat O'Malley has the official word. Let's get it from Pat.
The winner by TKO at 2:21 of round 3, Garth, the Power Hedger.
Garth, the Power Hedger, trims the bushes of Robert Mitchell. Hedger improves to 8-2-1.
And if Robert Mitchell gets back in the gym and takes a page out of Garth's book, loses some weight, trains, he could very well be right back in a pretty good boxing situation.
We'll be back with more Ballroom Boxing right after this. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing on Home Team Sports. Larry Michael with Rick Walker. Rick, you know, we've seen some great fights so far. The crowd is buzzing. They want to see Rose the Bomb Johnson.
Well, who doesn't want to see the Bomb Johnson? I got a chance to see her right here at Michael's 8th Avenue in her debut. And Rose is a very attractive woman. At first you think, can she box? Yes, indeed, she can box. And I think today is going to be an evenly matched bout because of the reach advantage that Foster has. Lisa Foster is a girl who can get it with a 72-inch advantage. That's tough to get ahead.
Now, understand there's an opening for a heavyweight on a fight a little bit later on the card. What about it, big man?
Larry, all they have to do is show me the money and lace me up.
All right, Rick Walker in the ring. Maybe next when we return on Ballroom Boxing. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Rick Doc Walker. Let's take a look at the matchup here now as we have the ladies in the ring. Lisa Foster and Rose the Bomb Johnson. And you look at this and you see the big difference is the reach advantage, Rick. You noted it before we went on the air. Lisa Foster has the reach advantage on the Bomb Rose.
Yeah, she does. A little younger, too, at 29 years of age. Rose, the Bomb Johnson. We watched Rose a year ago.
Rose had a tough tussle last time out. Got a draw out of it. Her record is 1-0-1, and Lisa Foster is 0-1. Lisa Foster, 29 years old. Rose the Bomb, 33 years old. And we're ready to rumble with the ladies. Let's go to Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission Chairman Carl N. Milligan Jr., Executive Director Patrick Pinella presents this 4-round bout in the Bantam division. Also in the women's division as well. The referee in charge will be Kenny Chevalier. Introducing the boxers. Out of the blue corner from Washington, D.C., with a record of 0-1, please welcome Lisa Too Fierce Foster. Out of the red corner from Silver Spring, Maryland, with a record of 1-0-1, please welcome Rose the Bomb Johnson.
The Bomb Johnson, Silver Spring, Maryland. Actually makes her home now in Rockville, Maryland, going against Lisa Foster from Washington, D.C. And you see Lisa just towering over Rose the Bomb. So, you know, Rose is going to try to get inside and get inside that reach advantage of Lisa Foster.
Well, Rose looks like she's really been on the Stairmaster quite extensively since the last time I watched her fight. We're going to see what type of styles they employ for Foster. Boy, you sure want to move and use your jab.
Foster looks very confident and has a good sweat working, whereas Rose the Bomb Johnson is a little tentative as she comes out for this fight.
Look tense. Didn't look, used to smile a little bit more.
Rose took a pretty good beating last time out. You wonder what kind of lasting impression that made on her. Lisa Foster again. Chasing Rose across the ring. Nice right hand by Foster.
Foster. Yeah, that's a very tentative jab right now by the Bomb.
Foster working behind that left hand.
Rose has to commit in order to get in and get the body shot.
Holding and hitting. Referee Ken Chevalier does not warn Foster for that, but normally that is an infraction of the rules. Big right hand by Foster as Rose left herself wide open for that right.
Southpaw style doesn't seem to faze Lisa Foster the least bit.
Lisa Foster turning southpaw there real quick.
Yeah.
Switching back and forth, trying to confuse Rose Johnson a bit. Different body types. Rose, a very heavily muscled young lady, whereas Lisa Foster is long and lean.
That's why in order for Rose to be effective, she's really going to have to get in there and go at that body.
Rose is already breathing very heavily here in round one. Sometimes the anxiety of a big fight will sap some strength. 2-minute rounds in women's fighting. Rose beginning to come up back somewhat. Good right hand by Foster.
Yeah, Foster's hit her now. It's like 3-1 on the punch count.
Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Round 2 of this women's contest, scheduled for 4. Rose the Bomb Johnson in the gold bottoms against Lisa Foster, wearing all black tonight.
Yeah, Rose made up her mind to get in and jab and try to get to the body, but Lisa Foster's so much quicker.
Rose beginning to turn the heat up just a bit.
Reggie made a good point about the anxiety, and you never know how to get your airflow going, how your body's going to work for you until you get in and get hit a couple of times.
Rose changing her attack somewhat here in the second round, trying to be the leader in this fight.
Well, when you're nicknamed the Bomb, you got to get in and throw something. And see, she's not snapping the jab; she's kind of leaning the jab in.
Lisa Foster switches to southpaw. I don't know if that's her best style. She's had a home for that right hand early in this fight. This fight, she's trying to keep Rose off. Rose trying to get inside that reach advantage.
You know, in talking with Rose Johnson a year ago, she really wanted a shot at Kristen Martin.
You got to start somewhere.
The league there.
Rose really fatigued right now, sucking some wind, moving forward. Good body shot by Rose Johnson.
That's the best body shot of the bout.
Pushing Foster into the ropes. This could be where Rose is most effective, to get inside and work the body of Foster. Foster holding on right now. A big headlock on Rose the Bomb Johnson. Ken Chevalier with the warning. Now, Ken Chevalier has refereed numerous world championship fights, and right now he's the man in the middle of this tussle between Rose the Bomb Johnson and Lisa Foster. Back with more after this. Back for round 3 of women's action here at Michael's 8th Avenue in the Ballroom. Larry Michael with Rick Doc Walker. John Scheinman is with us tonight from Ring Magazine, and let's check in with John for his scorecard after 2 rounds of this bout scheduled for 4. John.
Well, Lisa Foster dominated the first round with her ranginess and jab, but one thing that Doc Walker always loves is conditioning, and she didn't seem to have it in the second round, and she was holding on for dear life. I got it 19-19, all even after 2.
Sounds fair to me. Sounds fair to me. Rose Johnson again trying to turn this into a bit of a rumble, and Lisa Foster would be content to keep it at the outside, Richard.
Well, that's when she's at her best. But see, now Rose has had a little blood coming out of the nostrils of Rose the Bomb Johnson. She's really going to have to show some toughness now. Foster taking advantage of the reach. Moving, has that smile, that confident air that the champions have.
Yeah, blood from the nose of Rose the Bomb Johnson. The mouthpiece of Lisa Foster came out earlier in this round. Ken Chevalier, the referee, has it in his hands right now.
But we've noticed now Lisa Foster trying to pick her spots, no longer boxing.
Lisa Foster pulling Rose down, and Rose certainly fatigued right about now.
But she got her on the chin.
Lisa Foster shaking up a little bit there. Rose's mouth is open. She's tired. It's the 3rd round scheduled for 4.
A little ringmanship by Lisa Foster. She's grabbed. She's done the things necessary to keep an advantage.
Closing seconds of the third round. Lisa Foster smiling. Rose the Bomb Johnson firing off the left hand. More from the ballroom coming up. Fourth and final round here at the ballroom. Larry Michael with Rick Doc Walker. Rose the Bomb Johnson against Lisa Foster. And we'll check in one final time with John Scheinman of Ring Magazine. And down goes Rose Johnson. Before we go to John Scheinman, referee Ken Chevalier says that was a slip. John, with 3 minutes to go, less than 3 minutes to go, who do you have in front?
That was a very tough round to score, but I gave it to Rose Johnson by the slightest edge. I got her up 29-28 going into the final round.
Oh, a nice flurry by Foster.
Foster really coming on here. These are 2-minute rounds, so not long to go in this fight. Uppercut missed by Foster. From a distance, she dominated the fight. Rose the Bomb Johnson got inside, started in the second round to even the fight up.
She's shown some tenacity. Lisa's shown some boxing skills. What the Bomb needs right now is to land a bomb.
So Foster has her mouth open, sucking for some air right now.
Blood out of the right nostril of Johnson.
A stiff right hand by Rose the Bomb. Good left hand.
With the left. She's got to follow up, needs some combinations. Doesn't seem to have a lot of power. Needs to dig down now. She might be able to win this if she can end with a flurry and score.
Nice body shot by Lisa Foster. Another right hand by Lisa Foster.
That's something Lisa hasn't done a lot of.
More blood from the nose of Rose the Bomb Johnson. Closing moments of the fourth and final round. It's a very tough fight to call.
Yeah, it is. Lisa has nice skills. We've seen a number of different interesting bouts.
Rose trying to come on at the end. That could have been a decisive blow, as close as this fight has been.
No, she needs another cross. They're clutching by the back. Foster has done a lot of holding.
Good sharp right hand by Lisa Foster, and that is the end of this fight. 4-round women's fight. Rose the Bomb Johnson and Lisa Foster. And you know, women's boxing has come so far.
No, it really has. I mean, no longer considered a joke or prank. I mean, that's some very good competition. I wonder how much Coors Light has been served here tonight.
I'll tell you what, the fans here always go away happy. And, of course, the folks at Michael's 8th Avenue thank good people at Toyota and at Coors for the support as ballroom boxing has grown over the last few years to quite a happening here on Home Team Sports and in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Who will go away victorious? Now, you know, Lisa Foster has not won in her career. She's 0-1. Rose the Bomb Johnson 1-0-1.
It's another one of those fights that I wouldn't mind checking out for a second time.
Yeah, that's what happens here at ballroom boxing. The fights are always close. And especially
March 26th.
Next card here at Michael's 8th Avenue. Okay. Pat O'Malley has the official decision. The fans here are really on the edge of their seats to see who is going to go away with a victory here tonight in this bout between two women, Lisa Foster and Rose the Bomb Johnson. So let's see. Is Pat ready? Let's go up to Pat.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Judge Campaneschi scores it 39-37 Foster. Judge Holmes scores it 38-38. And Judge Waleed scores it 38-38. We have a majority draw.
So a draw as Rose the Bomb Johnson draws for the second time in a row. She is 1-0-2, and now Lisa Foster is 0-1-1. Back with more ballroom boxing right after this. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing on Home Team Sports. Larry Michael with Rick Doc Walker. You know, Rick, we've seen some great action so far. The fans buzzing. Reggie Green, the NABF champion, really risks his world ranking here against Dezi Ford.
Well, Dezi Ford is a formidable challenger, a guy who wants to come out and make a statement. And you can hear all the talk about Reggie Green, but if you're part of the Ford camp, you want to come out and rock his world.
And, you know, Reggie Green says, I want Julio Cesar Chavez. And you know what? He's not going to get him if Dezi Ford steps up tonight.
That's the beauty of being here at Michael's 8th Avenue. Ballroom boxing at its absolute best. This is the bout folks want to see. This is the bout we'll give them.
You having fun so far?
I love it, man. You know me and the boxing.
All right. I hope you guys are having fun, too. More fighting when we return. Reggie Green in the ring. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Rick Doc Walker. World-ranked Reggie Green, the NABF junior welterweight champion at 141 pounds, getting set to take on Dezi Ford. Reggie Green knocking on a door for a world title shot. Really risking a lot here tonight against Dezi Ford. Let's take a look at the matchup. See Reggie Green, 5'7" and a quarter. Dezi Ford, 5'8". Both 29 years of age. The record significantly different. Reggie Green just 2 losses. Dezi Ford 13 losses, but he has won his last 10. Let's get the setup from ring announcer Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. This is the main event. A 10-round bout in the junior welterweight division. Introducing the boxers. First, out of the blue corner, from Akron, Ohio, weighing 143 pounds in the blue, red, and white trunks, with a record of 21, 13, and 2, 9 by knockout. Please welcome Dezi Time Ford. Out of the red corner, from Tuxedo, Maryland, weighing 141 pounds. He is the North American Boxing Federation Junior Welterweight World Champion with a record of 26 and 2, 11 by knockout. He is, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime. Reggie Showtime Green. The referee in charge is Bill Holmes.
Reggie Showtime Green going up against Dezi Ford, and I guess Reggie wants to make him Dizzy Dezi.
I guess so. When you look at Ford's record of his 13 losses, his opponents are combined 264 and 24. So he's going against some guys that have good records. He's never gone less than 4 rounds in a bout. I think we're going to see a contrast of styles. Showtime will work the body. We know his trainer, Irvin Mallard, talked about that Rosecroft heel. So this guy is in shape.
Yeah, Irvin told us they're going to take the body of Dezi Ford, and he will say he's going to work the solar plexus, the ribs, the liver. He's going to get him in the heart. And we've seen Reggie Green before, and he does have great ability to go to the body.
Yeah, he's got the skills. Dezi Ford is a man, though. I mean, DZ Time, if you've looked past him, because Green does have great expectations, it could be ill-fated.
Reggie Green in great shape, as always, working out of the hardcore gym. Stablemate of Daryl Coley, Too Sweet. He was by a little bit earlier today. Dezi Ford trying to be aggressive early in this fight. Maybe that's his best shot, is to try to take the tempo and take the rhythm away from Reggie Green early. Reggie Green's a consummate professional, though. He's going to have to, Dezi Ford's going to have to do a whole lot to get Reggie Green out of his game plan.
I like a guy that works from that belt buckle up. Not afraid to go after the kidneys, the rib cage. He's a guy that's not going in there just looking for a knockout punch. He's going to box you.
Round 1 unfolding as we expected, a feeling out round. Reggie Green has fought here in the Ballroom before. He's got a big following here in the D.C. metropolitan area. Overhand right by Dezi Ford. Ford showing some pretty good skills early, especially with the right hand.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's been able to land a couple of combinations.
Good, strong right hand. Reggie Green's hurt for it. See if Reggie follows up. Reggie, a very patient fighter. Say the consummate professional. He will not get over anxious. Guarantee you that.
Well, when you can box, there's no need to.
Another big right hand by Reggie Green.
And if you work that body, and you stick and move, good things will happen for you.
Good body shot by Reggie Green. Dezi Ford had some moments early in this first round, then the big right hand by Reggie Green.
Dezi has a real nice jab.
A clubbing right hand.
Kind of chopping at it.
I don't know if Reggie Green has already taken a little bit of the heart away from Dezi Ford, but you see Dezi Ford already going to a southpaw stance after starting the fight in pretty good fashion from the conventional standpoint.
Yeah, I'm convinced. It's just so tough to be fundamentally sound when you're a switcher. and you don't have a bread and butter style.
And Dezi Ford trying to cover the body. He's heard Reggie Green wants to go to the body early and often. But again, Green very, very experienced. Dave Jacobs in his corner, one of Sugar Ray Leonard's former trainers. Irving Millard from the Sugar Ray Leonard camp also in the corner of Reggie Green. Back with more Ballroom Boxing after this. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing on Home Team Sports. This is our main event. Reggie Green, showtime against Dezi Ford. 1 round in the book. And after a good start for Dezi Ford, Rick Walker, Reggie Green showed why he is one of the world-ranked fighters at the junior welterweight limit.
Yeah, I think he came back and secured the opening round.
Green here to fight.
Yeah.
Body shot. You see almost buckling the legs with an overhand right.
Tremendous power.
Green, very sharp puncher. Dezi Ford says no.
Yeah, not a guy over anxious, Larry. Calculated.
See Ford faking a rush in there. Again, Reggie Green going to be very patient in this fight. He's almost overly patient in his career. Had the big win over Ray Oliveira to win that NABF crown, which put him immediately up the rankings. And it's a guy that's having a hard time finding fights. We're told by his people that they want Julio Cesar Chavez next. Actually, he is not one of the champs. He'll fight Gonzalez for the WBC crown. Khalid Ralou of France, the WBA champion, and Vince Phillips, the IBF champ. And they'll take any one of them. Anybody that would step into the ring against Reggie Showtime Green, they'd love to accommodate it.
I guess the consensus is that was the 6th rank in the WBC and had, what, 2 fights in a year?
Inactivity.
Without an injury? There's no excuse for that.
Reggie wants to fight more often. Nice overhand right. This is his first fight of 1998, obviously. Body shot by Dezi Ford as he dives in with the right hand.
Green put the squeeze on him. Dezi Ford is no one, again, to be discounted. I mean, here's a guy, we talked to a number of people prior to this bout that were convinced that Ford could come in and actually beat Showtime Green.
And there were rumblings that Reggie Green might not have been ready for this fight, and that maybe looking past this fight with Dezi Ford, and the fact that he had won that NABF crown, and looking ahead maybe to a world shot maybe later in 1998. It looks like a pretty sharp Reggie Green in the ring right now.
Yeah, he does. No, I like his ringmanship. I really do. Not in a panic, you know, following the script.
A body shot there by Reggie Green as Ford backed away. Reggie Green in the white trunks with the black trim. Dezi Ford, blue trunks with red and white stripes. Round 2 rounding down. We'll be back with more Ballroom Boxing in a minute. World-ranked Reggie Showtime Green in the ring right now. Ballroom Boxing. He's taking on Dezi Ford. Larry Michael with Rick Doc Walker. Round 3 underway, scheduled for 10 junior welterweights. Dezi Ford came in yesterday's weigh-in a couple pounds more than Reggie Green, and by the time they get into the ring today, you know, they're weighing around 145, 146 after a day of eating and rehydrating. Reggie Green moving around for the first time in this fight.
Yeah, I've been waiting to see what would be his counter, how he would alter his style to be just a little more effective.
He is very slick. He's good defensively.
Oh, he's polished.
Corner of Reggie Green asking him to go to the body. He goes for the shot up top and a shot down low.
Dezi Ford looking like he's paid the price in the road work category.
Reggie Green just so slick defensively. Ford really having a hard time finding him right now.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Got to be frustrating when you throw in and sticking, you come out and you don't hit anything. All you get is a forearm.
A little abrasion around the left eye of Dezi Ford. Reggie Green with the overhand right, maybe looking for that mark. Ford pretty good defensively as well, though.
No, he is. He is. He's had good movement, good side to side.
Shot to the hip a little too low. Good left hand by Reggie Green.
Yeah, nice little fake on that one. This is one our friend John Saraceno would have really enjoyed. Where's John in Rome, Italy, Paris?
He's somewhere.
Yeah.
San Diego.
San Diego, yeah. He's a big player.
Punch right on the belt line again, and that good strong right hand right that time. To say the left eye of Dezi Ford. Beginning to close a little bit. Reggie Green going to the body again. Methodically trying to break the opponent down.
Yeah, he's trying to bring those hands down. He hasn't gone up top that often, but he is very effective. Not a lot of wasted energy out of Reggie Showtime Green.
There's some punches with bad intentions from Dezi Ford. Reggie Green slips some good right hand countered by Reggie Green. But you get a little carried away there. That's really not his game. He is measured. He's economical with his punches.
Dezi Ford has a plan. I mean, here's a guy who's been able to go out and do, I think, a number of the things that his corner instructed him to do.
Good fight in the ring. We'll be back with more after this. Dezi Ford of Akron, Ohio, taking on Maryland's Reggie Green. Here in the ballroom at Michael's 8th Avenue. Larry Michael with Rick Doc Walker. Round 4 underway. This fight is scheduled for 10 rounds. And let's check in with John Scheinman of Ring Magazine to see how he has it scored through 3 rounds. John?
Well, I've got a shutout going for Reggie Green, 30-27. I don't see Dezi Ford presenting too much of a problem right now. I got to be honest with you guys. I think Reggie Green is just getting some rounds in. I feel like he can turn it up at any time he wants. He's a very powerful, effective puncher, and so far he's just only working in 3rd gear.
The thing about Reggie Green only has 11 knockouts of his 26 wins, but over the last 2-3 years, Reggie Green's power has really become a little more pronounced. And as John mentioned, and I would agree, he's got some powerful punching power at 140 pounds.
Yeah, and he's demonstrated some of it. I also agree with John in terms of, here's a guy who, you know, there's nothing like live training as opposed to going out and hitting the road and speed bag, heavy bag, and hitting the mitts. But to go out here in this environment, a great environment here at Michael's 8th Avenue, and spar, if you will. But you always risk, you know, the fight of catching one on the chin. So you can't go out here and just mess around.
That's right, or a cut. Never know. Good body shot there by Reggie Green. The overhand right scores. I don't know if he's necessarily toying with Dezi Ford or carrying Dezi Ford right now, but he is getting good work in.
Yeah, I think he's trying to break him down, but he's trying to break him down from his ribs up.
And Ford is beginning to open that mouth a little bit, looking for a little more oxygen.
The eyes are starting to look pinkish as well. So what Showtime Green has done has been very effective on the offensive end, and of course he's maintained good posture defensively.
Reggie Green almost touched the knee to the canvas there as he dug a body shot in the midsection of Dezi Ford. Dezi Ford much more survivalist mode right now. Good overhand right. He is hurt. Let's see if Reggie Green's going to try to put him away here. Dezi Ford's a veteran. He's going to try to smother Reggie Green. Both these fighters 29 years of age.
Obvious difference now in terms of how the conditioning looks. You talked to Irvin Millard prior to it, his trainer of Showtime Green. He talked about that Rose-Croft heel.
Right.
That he has Reggie sprinting up. You should run heels. I've run my share of heels. That's no fun, pal.
I always hated that. I get to the bottom, maybe not come up.
I always wanted to ride back up.
I always made you do that in hot weather, too, didn't they?
Yeah.
In August.
Think about conditioning. I don't care what the weather is.
Oh, brutal body shot. And that's what we said we were going to see from Reggie Green. He's really beginning to feel it right now. And we come to the conclusion of this round. More boxing from the ballroom coming up. Welcome back, Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Rick Doc Walker, round 5. Reggie Green Dezi Ford, Reggie Green, world
Reggie
ranked.
got right on the solar punch on that boy.
Dezi Ford beginning to hold on a little bit here, and methodically Reggie Green taking the will away from Dezi Ford. Here Reggie Green, I think, wants to turn up the heat a bit and see if Mr. Ford can take it. Once again, Ford holding on, using his head, trying to work that head into the eyes of Reggie Green. Reggie Green, a little smile on his face, realizes he's got the edge right now.
It's the beauty about this sport. You can knock a man out on your last leg.
That's right.
And that's why you've got to constantly be in a good boxing position, or you can be out.
Ford doing a good job trying to smother the punches of Reggie Green right now by just putting his head down and trying to tie up Reggie.
Thing about Green, you go against Green, you put your head down, he starts to work those ribs.
Full night of boxing action at Michael's 8th Avenue. Fans always get their money's worth. Next time up, March 26th, here in the Ballroom. Check out ticket availabilities here at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland.
Well, they've done a great job. I mean, I'm sure that the folks at Toyota and Coors are very, very happy. A packed house, spirited arena, a lot of fun.
Dezi Ford spins Reggie out of the way. A good body shot by Reggie Green. Really stops Ford in his tracks.
Boy, that's about his finest combination. A series of punches that we've seen Showtime with.
Dezi Green really has his mouth open right now, really showing some fatigue.
Dezi some credit, though. He is at no point in this bout has he stopped trying to get on his toes.
Reggie Green beginning to stalk a little bit now, beginning to stalk Dezi Ford.
Starting to cut that ring into quarters now. What a nice body shot by Dezi.
Still willing to stand there and fight, Doc. Ah, right hand just misses. Closing moments of the 5th round.
The thing about Green you like is that if he goes upstairs and misses, he will come right back down fundamentally and try to tag you in the midsection.
We'll be back with more from the Ballroom in just a moment. All right, action resumes here with world-ranked contender Reggie Green taking on Dezi Ford. Here at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Round 6 underway. Larry Michael with Rick Doc Walker. John Scheinman is with us from Ring Magazine. And John, how do you have it scored thus far?
Well, still a shutout, 50-45 for Reggie Green. You know, I was thinking about what Doc said about Dezi Ford. You know, a guy who has 21 wins in a professional boxing career has got to be doing something right. So he's hanging in there pretty good. He's not able to get his offense off, but he's shifty enough to stay out of Reggie Green's power so far, and I just want to give him a little credit.
No, I agree with you, John. I mean, here's a guy we talked about his 13 losses and the combined 264 wins and 24 losses by his opponent. So here's a guy that has some ring savvy, but in this case, he's in with a guy that I just think is better.
Dezi Ford has lost to some pretty good competition. Vernon Forrest, local DC fighter Charleston Mitchell, and Donovan Boucher, former world-ranked junior welterweight. Reggie Green here really wanting to put a little heat on Dezi Ford, see if he can take it. So Reggie Green kind of like, you know, goes for a while, then cruises for a while, sees what the opponent has, then attacks or lays back depending on what his mood is.
Well, that's the beauty about it when you are a pure boxer and a guy who now has demonstrated an increase in power, he can control it.
Bill Holmes, referee for this fight. Reggie digging the body shots. I think if he's going to get Ford to back off. Bill Holmes warning for a low blow, and that punch really was brought down by Dezi Ford himself.
Got to protect the guys, though. Got to keep those blows up.
Shot right on the belt line.
Dezi Ford is a warrior.
Reggie Green looking ahead maybe for a world title shot sometime later in 1998. Goes to the body, then goes to the head.
Nice little combination. Really didn't land too hard to the head, but he did get a nice body shot in.
Reggie Green really beginning to inflict some punishment now on Dezi Ford. Reggie Green's hands are faster and stronger. There's a nice combination.
Got him on that one.
Ford could be shaking here. He's got that look in his legs right now that he might be looking for someplace to rest. Trying to lead up against Reggie. Closing seconds, though, of the 6th round, so Dezi Ford will escape. We'll escape round 6, and we'll be back with round 7 from the ballroom after this. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Rick Doc Walker in the ring right now. Dezi Ford and world-ranked junior welterweight contender and the NABF world champion, Reggie Showtime Green. Really in the last round, Rick had Dezi Ford hurt at the end of the round, and I would think if that round had another minute in it, he might have put him away.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a case of pacing on the part of Reggie Green. Then as we talked about a little earlier, then he kind of turns up the intensity, finds his spots, works the body, tries to go upstairs.
Big right hand by Reggie Green. You can see the legs beginning to widen a bit now. Dezi Ford trying to keep his balance.
Oh, that was low.
He's going to take a point away from Reggie Green for that low blow. Bill Holmes, the referee, had warned Reggie Green earlier. Ricky saw that as being low. Giving Dezi Ford a little bit of second life here, thinking if he wins this round, it could be a 10-8 round. Blood from the mouth of Dezi Ford now, and a left hand by Reggie Green. I think Reggie's looking to get that point back with punches here.
Equal low.
Dezi Ford really looks worn out
look
right
at the
now.
left eye. I mean, it's amazing at the amount of work that, boy, Showtime has delivered downstairs to still get the cuts and the swelling up top.
The big right hand by Reggie Green. A little cut now around the right eye of Dezi Ford, who's busting up here. Reggie Green really putting a lot of heat on the body of Dezi Ford, taking the will from Dezi Ford. Dezi Ford beginning to stumble around the ring a little bit now.
Yeah, he is. Showtime Green, master of his craft. And I'm sure his corner is very happy to see him do the things that they talked about, things that they've trained to do. So often we see boxers get in the ring and start doing their thing as opposed to following the script.
Good body work there again by Reggie Green. Dezi Ford just trying to lay his way on top of Reggie Green, taking away some of that punching power.
It's going to come a time, though, I'm sure that Reggie's going to say to himself, what I have to do is knock this guy out.
Big right hand, closing moments of this round. So once again, Reggie Green pours it on at the end of a round. We'll be back with more from Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie after this. Big right hand to start the 8th round. Reggie Green and Dezi Ford. Good body shot. Dezi Ford looking to the referee for some help. I don't think he liked that body shot. I think it took a little bit out of him. And this is where Reggie Green, I think, is looking to put Dezi Ford away.
Oh, nice with the left hand.
Ripping body shots. And let's see. Ah, come on. That blow was not low. That's not a good call at all by the referee, Bill Holmes. I'd like to see that on a replay. Looked like it was right on the belt line.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Bill is, looking out for the interest of the boxers.
Now, Reggie Green has really built up quite a lead. Now, they had a point taken away last round for a low blow, and now another point taken away here in round 8.
And that's going to force Reggie to turn up the intensity and go for the KO.
Dezi Ford really in a survival mode right here, holding on, trying to survive this fight against Reggie Green. Reggie Green still punching very sharply. It's a low blow by Ford there. Ford looks like he's about to go, Doc. Good right hand by Reggie Green. A little left hand inside there by Dezi Ford as Reggie Green came close.
Well, we talked about the inactivity of Showtime Green, and this is really the best thing could have happened for him.
Nice left hand.
Yeah, nice little.
Dezi Ford diving in again. Got to watch for the clash of heads in this situation.
Just like how he maintains his balance.
And Reggie Green has some blood over the left eye, which is not good. If you're the corner of Reggie Green, you're saying this is what we don't want. We don't want to have our guy busted up in this fight, a fight that we're in control of. Reggie misses wildly with the right hand. Slight cut on the eyebrow.
You're right. Got to give Dezi Ford more credit. I mean, he's going to take it. He didn't have to apologize for his success, his toughness.
Big right hand by Reggie Green, and down goes Ford. Snapping right hand by Reggie Green, and Dezi Ford looking to the corner here, saying he is okay. And let's see, as Reggie goes after him.
Dezi Ford needs to get back on those ropes and balance himself.
Green another right hand. Ford trying to regain his senses here. Round 8. Reggie Green.
That Ford, man. He's a tough cookie.
Another right hand by Reggie. Body shot by Reggie. Another body shot by Reggie. Has Ford in some trouble up against the ropes again. Big right hand again by Reggie. Nice body shot.
Oh, yeah, back to the body.
Closing seconds of round 8. And Reggie backs off a little bit.
And Ford says, no, you didn't hurt me.
End of round 8. Back with more after this. We're back at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Great to have you with us for Ballroom Boxing on Home Team Sports. Larry Michael with Rick Doc Walker. Right now, Reggie Showtime Green in the ring against Dezi Ford. This is the 9th round, scheduled for 10. In the last round, Reggie had Dezi Ford just about out of it, had him down, didn't close the door, so Ford survived another round.
In the long haul, this is probably the best thing that could happen for Showtime Green, because it'll make him get back and stay in the gym and even work harder to improve on his power and be able to take a guy out that he's hurt.
Reggie Green suffered a cut over his left eye in round 8. If it was from an inadvertent clash of heads or a punch from Dezi Ford. Dezi Ford is shown to have good survival instincts against the craftier Reggie Green.
Call it spunk and toughness, but this young man, as he's altered, gone from the southpaw style to a righty, but he's just never gone away. And he's gotten back, and he started trying to lead with his jab. He's worked back, trying to get some of the medicine that Green has administered to him with body shots.
Reggie Green looks remarkably fresh. Still power punching, still moving nicely. Dezi Ford, on the other hand, he looks like a beaten man right now.
Yeah, he looks beaten, but he's got the will, you know, of a champion, because this guy won't go down. He won't quit.
Reggie Green doubling up the left jab.
That's what I love about conditioning. You can't fake it.
Exactly right.
I mean, you know, Reggie Green has paid the price. His body looks tight. I mean, you know, he's showing no ill effects of fatigue.
Not even breathing heavy, and down goes Dezi Ford. An accumulation of punishment that time. Sends Dezi Ford to a knee. Taking knee 8, coming up, obviously has his sensibilities still with him to be able to go down like that and regroup.
2 nice shots down low.
Chopping body shot by Reggie Green. More body work by Reggie Green. Referee's going to take a look at this, I got to believe. Ford is not punching back. And that's it. Referee has stopped this fight. He's going to call an end to it. And Reggie Green wins by TKO in the 9th round. So Reggie Green preserves his ranking and runs his record to 27-2 with 12 knockouts. A 9th round stoppage of Dezi Ford, and it looked like pretty much Dezi Ford had had enough.
Yeah, he did. Gallant effort, though, a steal of the Warrior. I think a good decision to end that bout. The better fighter won it, and we can only hope we can see Showtime Green in prime time as soon as possible.
Reggie Green victorious. We're going to take a break. The winner tonight in our main event, Reggie Green, runs his record to 27-2 with 12 knockouts. A 9th round stoppage of Dezi Ford. Back with more Ballroom Boxing right after this. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing, where Reggie Green is victorious. Larry Michael and Rick Walker. Here is the end, Rick. Reggie Green had punished Dezi Ford over the last 4 or 5 rounds, and it seemed as though Dezi Ford just had enough.
It's only fitting, too, for Showtime Green that he end here with a strong overhead and right, but it was the body shots that broke the body down of Dezi Ford.
Dezi Ford would get up, and moments later the fight would be stopped. To Pat O'Malley with the official word.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by TKO at 2:43 of round 9, Reggie Showtime Green.
So it is showtime tonight at the Ballroom. Reggie Green victorious once again. He's on the way to a world title shot later on in 1998. Now to John Scheinman with an interview with tonight's winner of the main event, Reggie Green.
I'm here with NABF junior welterweight champion Reggie Green, coming off a 9th round TKO of Dezi Ford. Reggie, were you a little concerned when that second point was taken away for low blows? Like, uh-oh, I could get DQ'd here.
No, I wasn't worried about getting disqualified. I was worried about what the spread would be. But first, I'd like to send a dedication out to my cousin Anki, who died yesterday, and that's how I like to just thank God.
What do you think's on your plate for 98? I mean, you're NABF champion. You're on a really good streak. You look devastating, methodical in the ring. But is a title shot in the future this year?
Well, I need the bigger fights. The big fights, they get me up. I mean, I worked hard as gonna be, but I can't really focus on a guy like that. But he was real tricky. He was a veteran, and I'm ready to fight whoever. The best man win.
Are you impatient fighting a guy like this?
I wanted to knock him out, and I saw I could hurt him, but he was just crafty, doing a lot of, smart things, so I had to give him credit for that.
Well, that's Reggie Green. He's on his way in 1998. Let's go back to ringside.
All right, John Scheinman will be back with further action from Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland in just a moment. Well, Rick, another exciting night of action here in the Ballroom. The action was well matched, competitive, and Reggie Green goes home with a victory.
And I'm exhausted. I didn't do anything but watch it. It was a nice exhibition to watch Reggie Green. Showtime comes out, needed the work, showed power, a tactician in the ring. I was very pleased with that. I think here's a young man that deserves a shot at a world championship.
So that's a wrap for us here from Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Thanks for watching Ballroom Boxing on Home Team Sports.